Well, greetings. It's been a while since we've been making this content. Been doing a lot of stuff on the slingshots lately, and I'm telling you, I'm having a good time with that. And some of my slingshot subscribers are just awesome, amazing people, but I got some RC plane people as well. And a lot of the slingshot people have been asking for some RC content. Well, the weather's finally getting better and I can get out and make some content. We're going to try something a little different today as far as how I film. I always like to have somebody that can follow my plane around the sky with nice close-ups and everything. Problem is, I'm the only person here and I can't, fly and film at the same time. I'm not going to wear one of them hat things because your plane becomes a mosquito in the sky and you can't see it. I don't believe in that. But what I'm going to do is when we fly this thing, after I tell you about it, I'm going to put a camera out on the runway and then I'll do flybys, low flybys, so you can see the plane in action. And we'll see how that comes out. If it's good, we'll run with it and maybe do some more like that if there's nobody here. Anyway, let me tell you about this plane. This plane is from the company Flite Test. It's called the Legacy version 2. They created this when they bought the golf course that they're at now for their flying field. And the people that donated a certain amount, they got one of these kits, and it was kind of the Legacy airplane. It's a great flying plane. But I got some mods on it that I want to tell you about and some things that I've done just a wee bit different. First, as you see, I've got black motor mounts. If you go on to Thingiverse, there's tons of stuff for Flite Test planes to be 3D printed. I don't have a 3D printer, but my brother down in Miami does. And when I went to visit my mom one time, I took a bunch of plans down there and I kept that thing running nonstop for the 3 or 4 days I was there. So I've got these really nice black 3D printed engine mounts. I like that. The ones from Flite Test are all paper and they're great and they're strong, but they're going to start getting wobbly. These ain't going anywhere. They're strong as can be. Also, you notice I've got a piece here and a piece in the back to hold my wing on. That was another like brace piece, so the rubber bands don't go down over the foam and bend the foam. And another bonus to it, I think you can see it here. The front piece goes all the way back, and there's a little L channel there so that when you put the wing on, it self-centers. Now that's some good thinking. And it just helps you when you're getting your wing on, you know it's on right. One thing I did when I was building it, and I got the idea from some planes that I bought used from people that had done just this amazing job of routing their wires and making everything pretty. And I don't like spaghetti wires, but if you looked inside here, there's some spaghetti wires. But you're always fishing out those multiple connections for your servos. And because this is a twin, it's got a servo connector for control for each motor, plus the ailerons, and this one has flaps. So when you're putting it together, you've got a servo extension for each motor and each aileron. So you got 4 wires in there that can just get lost in everything. So I took the connectors from the plane, the male side, where you slide the pieces in, and I laid them down and I hot glued them all together to make my own servo mount, servo connecting plug, whatever. And then all I got to do is find the 4 wires and plug them in. So what I did is I got a paint pen. You can get them at the craft area in your local big box stores or craft stores. They're like markers, but they have paint in them. They're fine tipped and they got a little ball on the end. And I painted stripes on each of the servo connectors, a 1, a 2, a 3, and then I did one in a separate color. As you can see in the video that I cut away to here, I filmed that before I put the plane together so you could see it. That just makes assembly so much easier and less guesswork involved. So the other big mod that you're probably noticing, other than my decal that won't stay on no matter what I do, is I don't have any wheels. They have this real nice wheel set up that they made with 3D printed and big wires, and they work great. But I was coming in one day, coming down the runway over there, came in a little too hot. And I smacked it down and the wheels folded back. Like, I think it's a Cessna 210 that has the wheels that back in the back. They folded back and it bounced off the ground and kept flying. And I said, let's just keep flying this. It flew great. So I got it down on the ground, unscrewed them wheels, took the whole mechanism off, put a piece of tape along the belly, and flew it. And I thought I'd hand toss it, but the problem with hand tossing it, because you've got the motors above your thrust line or above the center line of the plane, when you try and hand toss it, just wants to go like that. Then I tried just skimming it on the runway and taking it off in the grass of the runway, and off she went. Flew amazing at like under half throttle on 4S. It was like using no power. I could have probably flown the thing for like 15-20 minutes. So I said, I think I like flying it better this way. So I went home, and where the landing gear pod pieces were, put a piece of foam board in there, true flight test style, and then I just wrapped the bottom of it like crazy with that fiber packing tape to add strength to it. The only downside is it covered up my bomb bay door. You can see it right there, but that's okay. I got other planes to drop parachute dudes from. So that was a big major change to this plane, and I like it so much better without the landing gear. You don't have all that big drag from those big old wheels. And when it's in the air, it looks really cool. So I just fly it this way now as a belly takeoff and landing plane. And you'll see in a minute, I'm going to take it off across the runway there on the belly, and off she'll go. The other thing I did for my livery, I kind of mimicked the Freedom Fox from Trent Palmer. I had done another plane in that setup, and I had some of the vinyl cutouts left that a friend made me. So I said, let's do it in some red, white, and blue. So I got the stars and the red, white, and blue stripes for orientation, and it just makes the plane look a little cooler. So those are the mods I did to this plane. Let me go get my batteries off the charger and get my camera and radio and everything set up, and let's go for a flight and see how it does. Okay, we are about ready for takeoff. If you notice, I'm a little sideways on the runway. That's because of the direction the wind's blowing. It's kind of fluctuating from a crosswind to downwind. So I'm going to try and cut it in half and get this thing off the ground, but I think you'll be able to see it. And then we're going to just do passes right down here so you can see what's going on. Here we go. You should be able to hear it when it comes by. There's nothing cooler than the sound of a twin-engine airplane. So here we come, first pass. I'll try and slow it down a little bit. I'm actually flying this, I mentioned earlier, on 4S, but I'm actually flying this one on 3S just because it doesn't need it without that landing gear. It just flies so slow. Don't you love that sound of the twin engines? It's just the coolest thing ever. When it comes by, you should be able to hear it through my microphone. I'm going to set up a little farther out so I can do a better fly down the runway this time for you. Okay, we're coming in again. Let's try a touch and go. Unfortunately, I can't show you all the flying around because I can only show you what's in camera. So let's do a couple more passes. Here comes a high-speed pass, full throttle. I think that was too high. Let's try that again. Full speed. One more flyby, and then we'll bring her in for a landing. I'm going to make sure it's on camera so you can see it. And there you go. Nice, sweet, soft landing. Grass stopped it there at the end. Got a couple nice flybys. I love this plane. It's such a good flying bush plane. Just a good time to be had. So if you've never thought about a flight test plane, this one's not super hard to build. It's reasonably simple. They fly great. I'm a big flight test fan, and you will be seeing more of my flight test planes. I've got another one I wanted to do a video on today, but I really want somebody to follow that one around because it does some cool aerobatics and stuff. So I'm not going to fly that one for you today on video. We'll save that one for another time, but thanks for watching. Keep on flying. And if you're one of my slingshot fans, keep on slinging, and we'll see you on the next episode here on the channel. Will it be with a slingshot or with a plane? God bless, guys, and we'll see you next time.